up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Tuesday. I'm Brandon Beam, hanging out with my guy, A-Ward Sports, Austin Ward. And looky, Nate Dogg still behind the glass. Happy Tuesday to you, my good friend Austin. What's happening, buddy?
Today's Tuesday?
It is Tuesday.
Oh,
I was
gosh.
almost going to start by saying Monday, but then I realized we had the Buckeye season kickoff show last night and roundtable, so we just fast forwarded today. We missed today, and now it's Tuesday, even though there was a quite the big day in Buckeye land yesterday, Austin.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't feel like we're coming off of a 3-day weekend or a long time since you and I have talked about the Buckeyes. And maybe that's because Monday was jam-packed with news, including the biggest starting quarterback announcement of all time.
Yeah, is that what you're saying? Is that your bold P?
No, I don't think that was probably too much hyperbole.
Okay.
I'll back off a little bit. It was
rather large,
It
though.
was the expected announcement at the expected time. And
we spent all of last week talking about Monday's presser and if a starting quarterback would be announced, and it looks like that did happen.
imagine that.
Yeah.
We thought that might be the case. The guy that we thought might be the quarterback is the quarterback. What a revelation. Doesn't mean all the rest of that stuff and the competition we've talked about and the neck and neck and the words back and forth never went out. Mm-hmm. So that means that the leader was the leader the whole time.
Yeah.
And now he's officially that. So Julian Sayin, congratulations to him. Your reward for claiming this job is starting against the number 1 team in the country in your starting debut.
As the reigning national champions. And I know that they don't want that out there. It's a new team. They took down stuff in the Woody, and they did that whole song and dance. Like, listen, the guys who were here last year were the ones who won that national championship for us. We don't want any reminder that that was the case. It's a brand new team. But when you have the comparisons and the expectations that Ohio State always has, Austin, that's as big as it gets a first-time opportunity starting in your building. Opposite side is Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns here in 11 days.
And that's more than anything else why Ryan Day, Billy Fessler, Brian Hartline, Ohio State as a whole needed to make this move at that time. By the way, there's nothing wrong with competition. It made both of these guys better.
Tim Walton was echoing it today, that they're still ongoing with the competition.
Yeah, that's across the board. And quarterback is more important than any other position on a football roster. And at Ohio State, I would say that the quarterback of that team is the most important player in all of college football. Influential, not best player in college football. That's the most scrutinized, the most pressurized. All eyes are always on the Ohio State quarterback. It helps that Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs are also on this team with Julian Sayin, but there's so much attention for the way Ohio State manages it, how Ryan Day elects to approach that every year, the way he talks about the competition, when he chooses to make the announcement, make it official. Like, there wouldn't be that level of scrutiny if this position wasn't so influential across the country. But the reason that you also have to make it 2 weeks before you play Texas is because whether it had been either one, Lincoln Kienholz or Julian Sayin, be making their starting debut against one of the most talented teams in the country. So you need to be able to put a game plan in place. You need to give them opportunities to get comfortable on the practice field, develop that chemistry with the wide receiving core, know who's going to be blocking for them, all that stuff, timing with the running backs. You have 2 weeks now where the ramp up of reps goes to Julian Sayin so that he can be prepared and give Ohio State the best chance as possible to beat Texas.
Absolutely, Austin. You're right. And we were even talking about that a little bit last week. Same thing with identifying and tracking down your final 5 for the offensive line. It's the same thing about continuity at the quarterback position, right? I mean, if it's been a true 50-50 split, and I don't know exactly what Tavian's workload has been.
Not with the ones. Yeah, that's been out. So.
As far as this competition goes, but it's now that you're 11 days away, you get the rest of this week, and then you get next week when you get into actual game week, which will be Julian Sayin's first time as a starter going through that. I mean, the ramp-up time is now over. I don't know what percentage they're still spending on installs and working on themselves as we continue now to shift to Texas mode. And anything you heard from today and yesterday for these media availability when you were over at the Woody, it does seem like that mentality has been shifting for the last week or so, and it does definitely seem that they know that that's on the horizon, and now a lot of the attention is going to Texas.
Yeah, and there also just weren't a ton of position battles for starting jobs at Ohio State. So much of this offseason conversation and the matchup projection against Texas. Texas has largely been given the benefit of the doubt despite losing nearly as many NFL draft picks as Ohio State. It's like, well, the national champs have to replace these 15 guys who are in the NFL and all this starting experience and 8 guys on defense. And there's really not been, it's not like they had to go through Saturday scrimmage and find out who's going to start at 13 different spots. A lot of this stuff was pretty obvious and pretty well sewn up outside of quarterback and maybe what they're doing there at right tackle. There's a ton of depth pieces that are up in the air, and we're still going to keep talking about defensive line, defensive tackle more specifically, the configurations at safety and corner, how that all's going to play out with the rotation and nickel and big nickel and all those other things. But, running back, wide receivers, tight end, those guys are all going to play. They're going to probably play 7 offensive linemen in that game against Texas. That's how many, at least, Ohio State views as game ready. And you have Ethan Onyanwa factoring in there, Ian Moore, Gabe Van Sickle, some other guys who can certainly supplement the depth. But in terms of being out there for snap number 1 against Texas at noon on the 30th, a lot of that stuff was already clear going into the weekend. They just had to maybe validate the last few pieces of the puzzle here, which is now why the Buckeyes are able to turn the table and turn their focus towards Texas in a way that they couldn't last week, even if Tim Walton is saying, well, this part is ongoing, and Tyler Bowen is saying
he was very adamant today. Tim Walton was.
The Ohio State secondary coaches were both Tim Walton and Matt Guerrieri were the most secretive, I think, of any coaches that have talked.
Yes, they were. They were holding a lot of stuff very close to the vest, and even Caleb Downs, when he was asked, all right, what positions are you kind of working with? And he's like, I don't know.
Wherever they want me.
Wherever they want.
There's no reason. This is BIA. They're the best secondary in America.
Is that what that stands for?
That is
BIA.
Okay. I'm breaking a little news for you. BIA, best in America. Yeah, it's there were times that didn't really apply in the Ohio State secondary not too long ago.
You're correct about that assessment.
They have reclaimed the moniker, and how they choose to line up against Texas, I don't think that Texas is well aware of the talent back there. Wherever Caleb Downs lines up is not going to make it any easier for Arch Manning to figure out anything else they're doing.
Wherever Jermaine Matthews lines up is not going to make it easy on Arch Manning.
Or Lorenzo Styles or Malik Hartford. Malik Hartford and Jalen McClain didn't talk today, I guess because they might give away too much about where they're lining up. So this was a group where Ohio State certainly wanted to keep some secrets in the back pocket, and that's fine. Once they get through the Texas game, we're all going to see who's in primary roles, how they're going to line up. Although, Matt Patricia in the scheme, you and I have talked about it for the last 2 months on the Buckeye Show, Beamer, it's going to change from week to week.
It will.
So
I don't know the severity of the change from week to week, but it will be different.
And so it's not like we would have gone in there today and Matt Guerrieri said 60% of the snaps for this guy and 40 over here. We're not going to hold him to that. No. We know it's going to change from week to week, but they also have really good stories. Jalen McClain is an Iron Buckeye. Would have liked to, get some insight on that. And I don't really care where he lines up, to be honest with you, against Texas.
The coaches will put him in a position to succeed. You know why? Because I'm sure that he's proved himself in camp and all throughout summer and in the spring that he deserves to play.
And he deserves to talk to the media, Beam. But
yes, he does.
Anyway, he will.
Yeah, a good 4-pack today, Austin, plus the 2 coaches.
I know, that's enough. We have plenty to talk about and break down with the 4 defensive backs that we got because those guys are hugely important. And you can say, well, you're just lumping Lorenzo Styles in there as a veteran. I firmly believe he's going to surprise people.
Not the way that they've talked about him this year.
Yeah, I think if you're writing him off or you think he gave up too many completions when he was in that dime package a year ago, I won't try and change your mind. You can be skeptical about anything you want. I think Lorenzo Styles is going to be one of the more pleasant surprises on this team this year. And we'll see if that's right. We're going to find out right away because Texas is certainly going to be trying to throw the football on him.
We got a great show lined up for you here this evening. Maybe or maybe not at 6:30. Adam King's going to pop by. He did just commit live right before we walked in here. Birm, maybe or maybe not, will pick up his phone at 6:45.
He said he's going to.
Okay, so Birm.
I feel good about that.
Birm will join us at 6:45. Adam King might join us at 6:30. We'll do the college football pulse and story that I know Nate was loving today about just making up national championships. So we'll do that in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll hear from Matt Patricia in the 7 o'clock, some Ryan Day as well. But first and foremost, Austin, what did Ryan Day have to say about naming Julian Sayin the starter for the season? You're going to hear from him coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Heading back to school, we are stronger together. Educators and parents on a mission to make sure our public school students have what they need to succeed. We are excited together, ready to make this the best school year yet. We are better together. I'm Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing, asking you to stand with OEA for the great public schools Ohio students deserve. We are stronger together this school year because public education matters.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday morning starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, you know, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine, warm and humid and breezy on this Tuesday with the risk of a late day shower or gusty thunderstorm. Temperatures near 90. Overnight dropping down to near 70 degrees. A warm and humid start to your Wednesday. We'll see partly sunny skies, light winds and lower humidity, and a little cooler. Highs in the low 80s Wednesday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
We here at The Fan believe there's no such thing as too much Ohio State coverage. You're locked into the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy Austin Ward tonight. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Tuesday evening. Austin, we got football here this week.
You better believe it.
The Fan High School Football Game of the Week is back this Friday as we kick off the season. We got Big Walnut taking on Bishop Waterston. Coverage is going to start at 6:30 and kick off at 7 o'clock. And then after the game, it's the Byers Dublin Subaru Overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. And let me tell you, if you've never listened to that show, it is fantastic.
Those guys know ball.
Those guys know ball, and it's a great, great show. So you can hang out with us on Friday night for high school football, and then with the overtime show a little bit later on Friday nights. I'm just pumped that we get high school ball back, Austin. We got week 0 in college football, all kinds of NFL preseason starters named all over the place today. Anthony Richardson, not the starter for the Colts. They're going to go with Danny Dimes.
What a gross situation that is.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. Wasn't a fantastic situation.
Who could have ever seen it coming? It's not like Anthony Richardson had all these red flags when he was at Florida, was it?
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't he the most accurate passer?
He tapped himself out of a game last year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy.
Who could have seen it coming?
Sorry, Colts fans, that you're having to go through that here.
Are you sorry?
Me?
Yeah, for the Colts fans?
The Colts fans have done nothing to me other than they won that Super Bowl that the Bears were in. But other than that, no. They have.
My fantasy team last year needs some apologies.
Yeah. Were you a Danny Dimes or Anthony Richardson?
No, I was an Anthony Richardson guy.
Okay. He started out pretty good.
No, he didn't.
Or I'm thinking of his rookie year.
You're thinking his rookie year.
When he started out pretty good. Yeah, you're right. Then I don't think he very much played well at all last year.
Didn't sustain that level.
No, wasn't quite up to that. So we got that to look forward to, which is nice.
Plus, school's back, baby.
School is back. How did Liberty have her first day yesterday or today?
Today was day 1.
Okay.
Meet the Teacher was Monday. I missed it. I was at the Woody talking to Ryan Day about Julian Sayin.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll hear from in just a second.
Absolutely, we will. That's a little tease. She was really looking forward to it. She got up. She knocked on our door. I don't know. It must have been 6:50.
Oof.
Can I go downstairs now? I tried to wait until the sun came up, till dawn, she said, before I went downstairs and woke you up. But she was like raring to go. 2 weeks ago, the mindset was, I don't want to go back to school. I don't like school.
Sunday scaries, kind of. The summer scaries.
But we got closer and closer, and she's like, oh, third graders get to go upstairs.
That's a big deal.
So
BFD.
I want to go to meet the teacher, and I want to practice going up the stairs. I'm like, you use the stairs every day.
Nah, not like this, Dad.
What are you talking about? She's like, no, these are tall. Okay, well, fine. Whatever you need. But really excited. New backpack, whole deal.
All right, cool.
Left her lunchbox at school on day 1.
Classic, starting off hot.
She's created this Beamer. I don't know how this happened, how we allowed it to happen. It used to be last day of school, you get ice cream.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, it's first day and last day.
Okay.
So, bus came, took her straight to Dairy Queen, just inhaling the strawberry sundae. It was, must be nice. I had a great day of school.
Just pounded it away.
Yeah. Just had an awesome day. Made a new friend, and now I get ice cream. Fired up.
What a great day. Yeah, it's going very different with me for daycare because we're now reached the portion of the program in which we start talking about going to school at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I don't drop him off until like 9:15, 9:30. And now he's just crying even before we get there. Today he's like, I'm like, all right, we're going to eat some breakfast and we're going to get ready to go to school. No school today. No,
there is school. It's Tuesday.
No school today. Want to stay home and read books on the puppy chair? And I'm like, no, we got to get ready to go to school. Oh, he starts yawning. Want to take a nap? I'm like, you just got up after sleeping for 14 hours. No, that's not going to be the case. We got to go to school today. Drop him off, immediately starts to scream.
That's great.
And then I get pictures like an hour afterwards where he's eating a popsicle singing happy birthday to a friend. I'm like, see, it's not that bad.
And then tomorrow you get to do it all over again.
We get to do it all over
Just
again.
need to send Liberty over there. Be like, listen, bud,
This is
school's
fun.
awesome.
Like, this rocks, man.
She didn't even get a popsicle an hour in. She had to wait till the end of the day to get ice cream.
But she got ice cream, so she was all good. Ryan Day announcing a starting quarterback yesterday. Julian Sayin, here was him talking about the consistency and how that won him this job.
You're always looking for consistency and taking care of the football. And when you start with practice one in the spring and then kind of do, study on the entire, growth over 6 months, you see that there was a lot of growth made. And you look at the numbers and the production, we felt like, he was, in a situation where he was ready to go play in this game. We also feel like Lincoln's ready to play. But, overall, Julian was more consistent.
What about a little more from Ryan here on the traits that he sees in Julian Sayin?
Smart, poised, has good composure, can see it, has good timing, and has really built command and confidence as time has gone on. And so, you see the traits, you see the accuracy, you see the ball getting out of his hand quickly, but the ability to run the offense, get us into the right play, make good decisions, throw it away when we need to, and ultimately take care of the football. But he can fit the ball into tight spaces when he needs to. He's got a good feel for the pocket, and so all of those things, were areas that we recognized that he's taken steps forward here during the preseason.
Austin, you can correct me if you think that I'm wrong here. I think the biggest thing for Julian Sayin when you go out there against Texas and then throughout the rest of the season is going to be not committing the crucial mistake, right? Because when you have a quarterback with an arm talent like Julian Sayin, and we talked about it all the way through camp here, and who's the better pocket passer and who can make the throw, right? Like, Julian Sayin's going to win that battle over Lincoln Kienholz when it comes to arm perspective 10 times out of 10, right? Mm-hmm. It's about avoiding the disastrous play when you say to yourself, well, I've got a strong arm, I can put it in here, and I'm going to do that. You can make some unbelievable highlight plays and continue a drive. We have also seen it with these kind of gunslingers, guys who have very high level of belief in themselves and their arm. It can also get you behind the 8 ball with committing mistakes. So I think that is obviously a huge part of coaching that Billy Fessler and Ryan Day are going to have to get through to Julian Sayin. Like, you keep the ball, and sometimes you throw it out of bounds. Sometimes you dirt it. Sometimes you don't even attempt it. Eating a sack is going to be, I think, probably his biggest challenge, knowing just how lively his arm is.
I think that no, I don't think that you're wrong. And I think that there's a lot of factors at play here that you have to keep in mind when you're starting with Texas. And we went from having the conversation last week where it was like, okay, here's where the separation must be occurring. Ryan Day's comparing this to Joe Burrow and Dwayne Haskins, and we know what the differentiator was in that battle. And it was the arm talent. And Julian Sayin clearly has that across the board over Lincoln Kienholz. I don't think Lincoln Kienholz would contest that. Mm-hmm. He's a competitor. He's a dual threat athlete. All those things. He has not been programmed to be a passer from birth the way Julian Sayin seems to be. But he is going to have to go do all those things that you mentioned. Commanding the huddle, commanding the line of scrimmage, commanding the locker room, communication. All those things are going to happen for the first time, and the speed is about to get ramped up dramatically. Ohio State can simulate that as closely as it wants to, as well as it can throughout training camp. It's going to be different in a week and a half. And, the expectations and the pressure for that are all going to be different. And I don't want to temper anything that could or could not happen for Julian Sayin, but the last time that we saw this with someone who had this level of recruiting profile was with CJ Stroud. And, there were people after the first half at Minnesota that were like, this is it.
Let's get Kyle McCord.
Get him out of here. Where's Kyle McCord?
I remember that Thursday night very well.
And that happened. There's no revisionist history there. And that ramped up even more despite throwing for 5 billion yards against Oregon in a loss that was not his fault. And that whole month was really strange and awkward. And you had the shoulder injury and Kyle McCord getting that start against Akron. It's like, it's going to take time before Julian Sayin becomes that finished product. And I don't say any of that to suggest that he won't be very good or that he can't lead Ohio State to a win against Texas, because I still firmly believe the Buckeyes will win that game. And I think it's largely going to come because this defense is going to be the best in the country again, in my opinion, and make life miserable for another guy who's having to go through some of these, growing pains and learning curves in Arch Manning. But Julian Sayin when it comes down to it, with the ability to touch every part of the field, with the quick release that we've talked about, with the accuracy, it feels like the safer bet for Ohio State. It doesn't mean that it is a sure thing. He's going to have to adapt as quickly as C.J. Stroud ultimately did after some of the mistakes,
which in the grand scheme of things was pretty quick for C.J.
And it was, and that could very well be the case for Julian Sayin. That's what the expectation is here for Ohio State, or they wouldn't have made the choice that they did. They didn't have to do it just based on his recruiting pedigree and whatever else. But you've seen him, I think, already from spring through the first 3 practices of training camp to scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2, continue to take the opportunities in front of him and get better from them. But that process starts anew at noon on August 30th. That's a new thing for him.
Yeah.
He's never seen that before.
Well, I think it's going to be a new thing these next 11 days, these next 10 days, Austin. Your first game week in charge of being the starting quarterback at Ohio State and going through, team walk and going through team dinner, best Fridays in football, right? Like everything about it is going to be brand new for him. Like he was here last year and we got to see him in actual football games and he played at the Horseshoe. So from that aspect, it's not, but being the starting quarterback here with all the expectations that everyone in this fan base has, all of that is a whole new level. Attention to detail, what you're doing in meetings, like everything about it is brand new for him.
The benefit for Julian Sayin, and this is, again, not an attempt to manage expectations for what he could do or not do against Texas. But I feel like the conversation can be the same that it was for Will Howard a year ago, which is, what did we say? They don't need their quarterback to be Superman.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be the Heisman Trophy winner for Ohio State to be its best version of itself. Just because
he was really stinking good.
He was very good. But he wasn't a number 1 overall draft pick. No. He wasn't a first-round draft pick either. He wasn't a second or third-round draft pick. And, Julian Sayin is not ready to be that at this exact moment, but Ohio State doesn't. It's not necessary for him to play at that level when you have Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Max Clare, C.J. Donaldson, James Peoples. Okay, and one of the best deepest offensive lines in Ohio State recent history. So they need him to. It's not to say game manager. I'm not going to put that tag on him. He has.
When did that become a bad thing to say?
I don't know.
think it's a bad thing to say. Being a game manager,
people take it as a backhanded compliment or a slight on their upside. And when you're comparing Will Howard and Julian Sayin as a passer, clearly one of those has a higher ceiling than the other. And so I think that's the perspective. It's like, well, don't just call him a game manager. He can make all the throws on the field, and he's a 5-star recruit. All that's true. But he doesn't have to go win games by himself.
I don't think he's expected to.
He's not.
I'm not expecting that. You're not expecting that.
No, I'm not. And he doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't need to. So just manage the game.
Just, maybe we got to find another word for it.
We can find it. We could come up with a new term.
You just got to be the conductor.
That's right. A conductor is very nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing. Keep the train on the track.
That's right.
Okay? Don't run it off. What's the biggest thing Brian Hartline's noticed about going against a Matt Patricia every day during camp and practice? You're going to hear from him coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Choose from payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest, plus a free in-home window and energy assessment. Restrictions apply. Give them a call. 614-502-5220.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Cover more ground and get more savings on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Gas-powered with a top speed of 40 miles per hour and outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo. All backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Visit your Kubota dealer and get the Kubota Sidekick for 0 down, 2.99% APR for up to 48 months and save up to $300. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you. There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
All Buckeyes, all the time. You are listening to the Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy Austin Ward tonight. Coming up 6:46. Jeremy Birmingham. He's going to join the program. He did confirm with us a little bit earlier. He said never again doubt his ability to answer the phone.
I don't.
Or else he will never
Was that
come
a
back
confirmation? I think that's less. That was a downgrade from how confident I was that he was going to pick up the phone at 6:45.
Yeah, guaranteed starter. Now he's like, I don't know. Just because you guys were talking
Got
crap
a bracket, got an or on there. He answers or he doesn't.
Yeah. Guess
Could
we'll
go either
find
one.
out. Everybody will find out together coming up here in just a little bit.
You know who's not in this chair over here right now?
Adam
at
King is
6:30?
not in this chair. He's also not back in the bullpen.
Unbelievable.
I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's doing TV or if he left to go get some dinner, but he's gone. Poof, vanished.
David Copperfield.
Yeah, he's gone. See you later. You can always watch us on the YouTube stream. Go to 971 The Fan on YouTube and like and subscribe everything. You can watch all of our live shows. You can watch Austin and Birm there. You can just do anything you want to on the YouTube stream. You can also get in the chat and come up with terms that are better than game manager. TE says field general. I feel like field general it's too much because field general, you're talking about like a very select few guys in the NFL and college football who I think get that term.
There's a level of aggression.
Yeah, like
and passion.
There's a level of commanded respect when you say field general.
Because I think that one is familiar enough and earned. Like, we've heard of quarterbacks being field generals.
Yeah.
I don't know that we can adapt that for this specific, what are you asking of Ohio State's quarterback? It'd be great if he was. If he's a field general,
yeah, you would take that.
Turn the
100%.
lights out because this season's over.
Yeah. Everybody else, like, watch out.
Thanks for coming.
If Julian Sayin's a field general, Mr. Substantial says team facilitator. I like that one.
Facilitator.
That's a good one. Team facilitator is a good one if we're looking for something else to not use the term game manager.
I heard Urban Meyer once refer to, I believe, JT Barrett as the distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you hear point guard. I don't want to get it conflicted there between basketball and football. We don't need to borrow terms from other sports.
No, we don't.
But yeah,
small forward.
we're looking for a stretch three. Julian, can you play in the paint?
What about a post? What about a wing shooter?
No,
spot up guy.
3 and D. What does that even mean?
Nobody knows what that means.
It's provocative.
That means that we're playing offense and just hitting threes and playing.
Yeah,
D.
that doesn't work. But that is the point. Julian Sayin does not have to be the 100% finished first round number 1 overall draft pick version of Julian Sayin if that's what he becomes right now. That'd be great if he was, but that's not going to be realistic to expect. Certainly not against Texas. And he's going to look different against Texas than he will against Penn State, than he will against Michigan.
I think this entire team will. And I think it's the same for Texas. I think it's the same for Ohio State. If these two teams are finished products by the time that we see them play next Saturday than what they are in the middle of November, Austin, or if in these both cases in which we're expecting Ohio State and Texas both to make the playoff, if you're the same exact team that you are on the opening weekend compared to your 14th, 15th, 16th game of the season, I think everybody in that building will have not done their jobs.
And I'm not even saying this to, throw cold water on the Arch Manning conversation, which has been overboard throughout the offseason, or to get anybody to lower their standards for Julian Sayin. It's easy, I think, to forget what that Cotton Bowl looked like with veteran quarterbacks on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Ewers and Will Howard had to grind for everything in that game.
Yes, they did.
And it was 21-14 until Jack Sawyer scooped up a fumble and took it the distance to make that final 28-14.
And they were on the 1-yard line.
And that's the kind of game that it was. And I expect both of these defenses. There are returning playmakers for both Texas and Ohio State on that side of the football. And, you could say, well, what's it going to look like with Matt Patricia, and you have a new defensive coordinator and Jim Knowles is gone. Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Davis Igbenos, and Jermaine Matthews, those corners and safeties that we talked to today. That group is going to be really talented. And the different array of blitzes and the way that Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese and CJ Hicks and Kenyatta Jackson, the way that those guys are going to be deployed, Arch Manning's never seen anything like that, period. Plus going into the horseshoe on the heels of a national championship.
Never seen anything like that.
The entire offseason buildup, the hostility that there is going to be unleashed on Fox for the fact that the game is at noon.
Don't show the horns down.
Yeah, no, there's going to be a lot of horns down.
I can't wait to do that too.
I
That's
mean,
the best thing to happen when they join the SEC. SEC is making it illegal to do horns down. Well, you know who didn't?
You know what?
Fox in the Big Ten.
Tony Petitti would never.
He might create a 2018 playoff, but he would never rule out horns down.
We'll get just brought the mood down in here.
We'll get to that later on, okay? Here was one more from Ryan Day before we get to some of Brian Hartline on when he saw Julian break through during camp as the starting quarterback.
It was about a week ago. I just started to see some throws and some anticipation. There was a couple reps where the rush was getting to him. And in those moments, you have to make quick decisions. And if you just throw it to the other team, not good. If you either throw it away or find a way to put it in a spot, even if it's a check down or something like that, I saw some of those things going on, making the routine plays routinely. I also saw command in the huddle. Again, not that I didn't see some of those things with Lincoln, but you're asking about Julian in particular. Saw those things and started to feel like, okay, we can want this guy.
It was funny because listening to Ryan Day since the very beginning of camp and also getting to listen to Billy Fessler, the one thing that they will constantly say, Austin, and this goes back to Ryan Day's time being here, it goes to, I feel like any quarterback coach that you talk to, any offensive coordinator, taking care of the football and making the routine play routinely. And that's it. You got to be able to do that. And you heard him right there. Like if you're making decisions, boom, hear the snap. And if you're throwing it to the other team, like you can't play. You cannot do it. It's something that you need to be able to do. Like sure, you make the spectacular play every once in a while, but if there's someone open on a 4-yard slant and that's the only read that's open for you better fire that ball in about 1.6 seconds.
Because do you know what can happen if you complete a slant pattern to Jeremiah Smith?
Good things.
He might take that 4-yard completion and then go 66 more for a touchdown. That's why the routine plays being made routinely is so important to Ohio State.
Yep.
It's why I'm talking about for this game in particular. And look, we'll have a different conversation about what the growth development process looks like for Julian Sayin over time. When he is able to make every single throw, when everything is second nature to him, when the speed of the game slows down for him, it's all going to look very different. But when I'm saying have a similar discussion about Julian Sayin going into the start of the year that you did about Will Howard, it's because no one said Will Howard has to make every single throw. How long into the year? It was mid-October. Ryan Day was getting questions about, hey, where are you on deep ball? Can Will Howard throw the deep ball? I was in the room. I heard them. And Ohio State didn't need that to be a primary part of its offensive identity because of the skill that it has assembled elsewhere. And this team, somehow, even without Emeka Egbuka, might be even more dangerous at wide receiver than they were a year ago. With another year of Jeremiah.
It's a hard thing to say and fathom, but you are correct.
But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
and look at what Emeka's doing in Tampa, like this offseason too. Everybody's just gushing about him.
Yeah, and all his replacement has done so far is earn himself a captaincy, and that doesn't guarantee you any production, but it seems like a pretty good sign for Brandon Ennis. But I mean, that's the point. There doesn't have to be Julian Sayin making every single throw that wows people in an NFL combine in a week and a half, because there's a lot of things that you can do on the short and intermediate throws that Will Howard did exceptionally well that then allow those players, Jeremiah, Carnell, Brandon Ennis, Max Clare over the middle when
get
he's
the
getting
ball into their hands.
When he's getting matchups against linebackers and safeties, get that ball out of your hands. That's that snap.
That was a nice snap from Ryan Day too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get on that coaching level. I got to work. That was fire right
like
there.
That one.
Yeah, and then you also have C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples and Bo Jackson. Like that's going to be part of this. And there's an ability, maybe underrated, underappreciated, unknown. I'm not sure about Julian Sayin's ability with his own legs, because so much of the conversation then was about Lincoln Kienholz and how he would be different, what options he could give for the offense that might not be the same as Julian Sayin.
He'll move around.
And he can. We saw him do that in games late, scrambled a little bit when he got those opportunities off the bench late last year. He didn't look like he was uncomfortable doing that. So it doesn't have to be based purely on his upside as a passer. As long as the accuracy and decision-making is what we expect it to be, what Ryan Day wants it to be, has to have it. Ohio State's offense is going to be just fine and then going to get better as they go.
We're going to go on the trail with our great friend Birm coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag #BuckeyesCare.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium into the press box and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Love your Buckeyes? Love Donato's Pizza? Love cookies? Then you're really gonna love this. It's Donato's new Buckeye Cravings Combo. A large one-topping pizza served up with 4 decadent peanut butter frosted chocolate cookies, all for just $19.99. Perfect for game day or any day here in Buckeye Nation. Order your Donato's Buckeyes Cravings Combo today. More pizza, more cookies, more Buckeyes. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Morning Juice, real football talk. Just two guys who aren't afraid to say what needs to be said. And that's how she wrote.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Now streaming mornings on YouTube and 10 TV Plus. Attack and dominate.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Coach Ryan Day, and I've seen firsthand how tough and resilient kids can be. But I've also seen the struggles that aren't always visible. Mental health challenges are real. That's why I'm proud to partner with the Kids Mental Health Foundation. Together, we're helping parents, teachers, and coaches talk to kids about mental health before there is a concern or crisis. Start making kids' mental health a part of every day with free tools and resources at kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best kind of power is star power. Let's go on the trail.
Every Tuesday at this time, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend. He is Jeremy Birmingham. Hey, Birm, how was the Woody today?
The Woody was wonderful, as it always is on a Tuesday.
Well, that's great. It's good to know. I know that there was a lot of DB sound today. You had McArary, Tim Walton. What did you glean from them the most, Birm? Because when I was cutting up some sound, I did hear some Devin Sanchez questions out of you for Tim Walton and McArary.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been as guilty as anybody of driving the hype train.
As guilty as anybody. How about more guilty?
I mean, I'm not here to cast aspersions on people. But I think that it's important for proper expectations. And the reality for Devin Sanchez is that he's heading into year one at Ohio State as the fourth cornerback, and that's pretty good. And he would probably be a lot higher if the other three cornerbacks weren't also really darn good and veterans. So I just wanted to kind of try to get a sense of exactly how they're preparing Devin for this season, because the expectation when you're a top 10 player coming into a college program is that you're going to play a lot. And I think Devin will play a lot, but I don't think that's necessarily going to happen in week one. So I'm just trying to get a sense of where they're at with him and how they feel like they can manage his expectations, their expectations for him, egos, etc.
Did they say anything about how it got more difficult to manage the expectations when certain reporters were saying this guy is the Jeremiah Smith of corners?
No, there was no comment about that. And, you know, for good reason, because the person who's truly responsible for that sort of hype and expectation may have been sitting at the table talking to us.
Oh, wow. You really flipped it.
I mean? So it's difficult to then turn around and put that sort of blame on me. And also, when you said conductor, because as someone who grew up in a very cosmopolitan way, I thought you were talking about a conductor of like a symphony. So when I think of the Ohio State offense as a symphony, I think conductor is the proper term for the quarterback in order to eschew the game manager tag.
Do you think game manager is a no-no now, where we sit with everything, Birm? Because don't you feel like it's kind of become a dirty thing to say when you're talking about quarterbacks?
No, I mean, it's just, it's like saying that somebody has deceptive speed. You know what
Sneaky
I mean?
fast, sneaky athlete, yeah.
We know what it means, and I don't think that Julian is a game manager. Like, this is a kid with an elite arm and an opportunity to work with the best receiving core in America. Like, there's a chance for him to be extremely dynamic, but what you guys were talking about earlier in the last segment is correct. Like, there is no need for him to be a superhero, but it's like Clark Kent's pretty darn important to the big picture of the Daily Planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this, because we were talking about this at the very beginning, Birm, and with everything with Julian Sayin, and just how much of a learning curve it is to not force yourself into those throws, which he can make, and how big of a deal that's going to be for him in managing being the starting quarterback for Ohio State.
I mean, that's everything, and it's going to be a big deal in week one because, I mean, it's 12 days, 11 days away, or however many days. I'm not good at counting stuff, but the truth is whichever quarterback makes the fewest mistakes in that game is going to win. And so that is the priority for Ryan Day, to get his quarterbacks to not turn the ball over. but you're also, as a coach, tempted by a guy who has the type of arm talent that Julian does, because you know what you have at wide receiver, and you think, hey, maybe we can force some things. We talked about this on Monday, but when you deal, like C.J. Stroud was such a phenomenal passer of the football and would put himself in unique positions because he could throw it to his receivers at any time, anywhere, and like he was the only guy capable of making those throws. So there's a draw to say, man, we can do those sorts of things. We can take some shots because the quarterback is that good, but it needs to be a process for Julian to become that guy. It's not something that people should expect in week one.
Birm, have you figured out yet where Jermaine Matthews was able to get those Scream thigh pads?
No, I haven't had a chance to check out the Jujel, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who's selling them and making a killing. But that's just life, Maybe Ohio State needs to start branding some thigh pads for NIL purposes.
I think that they definitely should.
What would be on your thigh pad, Birm?
Probably tears.
Tears? Earlier, he was describing a desert landscape was what he wanted on his thigh pads during snap judgments. So this is a little bit better.
It's happened to be what I was thinking about at the moment, which was like the nice red rocks of Sedona and some cacti in the background, a little silhouette to the west.
I guess I'm doing a bad job hosting snap judgments if all you can think about during our show.
Was there a tumbleweed rolling through your head during that show too?
I'm not going to lie, that happens more frequently than I'd like to admit. But right now, like, this is the time of the year where Ohio State has been pretty silent on the recruiting trail. There was one 5-star commitment today, a running back, Savion Hyder, who committed to Michigan.
We didn't ask you about that.
He took an official visit to Ohio State. Thursday night, Braylon Womack will make his decision. 5-star safety took an official visit to Ohio State, will probably end up committing to Auburn or Florida. Friday, Darius Gray, 5-star offensive lineman, took an official visit to Ohio State. He'll probably end up at South Carolina or LSU or Tennessee. And it just feels like one of those times when it makes a lot more sense to think about tumbleweeds tumbling.
When do they, if at all, get their momentum back in this class, Birm?
I mean, that is the literal $1 million question for a lot of folks. But I think that there's this strange conflation of things happening where there's a belief that Ohio State is not getting these players because the Buckeyes are poor, right? And that's not true. Ohio State has a ton of money. They have no problem paying for what they want in this era. But they're not comfortable paying every high school player 7 figures, and especially at positions where, like running back, for example, Savion Hyder on Tuesday committing to Michigan over Tennessee. Like, if you tell a high school senior that you're going to pay him $1 million a year, and you have a second-year starting running back like James Peoples who is not making anywhere near that amount, everything changes in 3 months, and then you have to renegotiate all these things. And so some of it is Ohio State being reluctant to dip its toe into the gray and into the murky waters of the NIL landscape right now because of waiting for rules to be finalized and to be codified. But a lot of it is just simply that the Ohio State coaches are not willing to risk the chemistry of the locker room and what they have built this program around. And you just simply can't bring in player after player after player who's making more money than starters on your team. And that's where I think there's a disconnect as far as what actually matters to whom.
Yeah, and that's been their strategy for a while now. I feel like once you get here, and you can prove yourself on the field, then those NIL dollars will come. Birm, before we get you out of here and you're about last minute, what's bothering you today? What's on your mind other than
it's not his mind,
tumbleweeds or Sedona?
It's his ankle.
Oh no.
That's been a while now, but today really I was just thinking about Dierks Bentley and how in the big picture of country music, like, and Austin and I have had this conversation before, but he's like so underrated,
We have had this conversation.
I'm not the guy to ask country music like trivia or thoughts about.
I think I put the idea in your brain.
Yeah, like, what a catalog from that guy.
Maybe that's
hit after hit.
Maybe you were thinking about Dierks Bentley, the native desert son, and the Red Rock tumbleweeds.
Oh, did he live in Phoenix?
Yeah, he sure did.
Huh.
Imagine
I
that.
used to live in Phoenix.
You did? Well, that's good to know.
Did you and Dirks ever get together?
No, I've never known a person named Dirks. Have you ever met someone named Dirks?
No, I haven't. He's the only one. I know a Dirk Nowitzki, but I don't.
You're friends with Dirk Nowitzki?
I haven't heard of the S on the end of Dirks, making it plural. I know it's spelled differently, but no, I have not met an individual or fellow named Dirks before. No.
Yeah, I feel like we're all kind of missing out in that way.
Birm.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
You absolutely will. Goodbye.
There he goes, Jeremy Birmingham, the great thinker of our time, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling
Tuesday
System
Thoughts with Birm.
Guest Hotline. He always surprises me. I never know which way he's going to go. And
You didn't have Dirks Bentley down?
I didn't have Dirks on my bingo card today. No, I didn't. If claiming unearned national championships was a sport, then this SEC team would be the kings of it. We'll do that in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You may play the Ohio Lottery, but how well do you know the odds? True or false? When more people play Powerball or Mega Millions, the odds of winning a jackpot are worse. It's false. The odds for draw games don't change. The game design sets the odds, so your odds stay the same no matter who plays or how big the jackpot is. The only thing that is worse is the number of coworkers expecting free lunch if you win. I mean, how many tacos can one man buy every Tuesday? Learn more about common lottery myths at ohiolottery.com/knowtheodds. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Experience Buckeye Game Day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Nate Puterball. The Cincinnati Reds look to make it 3 in a row tonight as they're out in Los Angeles to take on the Angels. They sit just a game behind the Mets in the NL wildcard. First pitch is set for just before 9:40 with Hunter Green on the mound for the Reds against Kyle Hendricks. Catchy action right here on the Fan. The Cleveland Guardians look to make it back-to-back in Arizona as they play Game 2 of their series against the Diamondbacks. Cleveland now sits 3 back in the AL wildcard. Eduardo Rodriguez is on the mound taking on the Guardians' Tanner Bybee. First pitch at 9:40. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers signed head coach Rick Carlisle to a multi-year extension following the Pacers' first NBA Finals appearance in a quarter century. And Notre Dame named freshman C.J. Carr starting quarterback for the upcoming season. And in the NFL, the Colts named Daniel Jones as their starting Week 1 quarterback over Anthony Richardson. And Cam Hayward returned to practice for the Pittsburgh Steelers, ending his holdout. Breaking sports news, what happens on the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour 2 of the program for us here on this fine Tuesday. Now that football season is fully coming into form where we get all kinds of starting quarterback announcement, Austin. Coming NFL, we had Flacco named the starter in Cleveland yesterday. Danny Dimes today in the NFL for the Colts. Had C.J. Carr, Nate, just dropped in there in the update for Notre Dame. That means that we are right around the corner, buddy.
So close, you can taste it.
Yeah. How good does that seem?
Elite.
Yeah. God, I just can't wait.
Think you're going to get some ice cold Blue Mountains?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. What about you?
I mean, I don't have to cover a game this weekend.
No, I don't have to cover a game.
I just get to watch games.
I don't have to cover a game, but I do get to watch games on Saturday and all kinds of in the preseason, too.
I cannot believe still that Iowa State and Kansas State are kicking off the season with a conference game in week 0 that is in Dublin, Ireland.
What do you mean? The people
what part of that makes any sense?
Over in Ireland love the Cyclones.
Do they?
Yeah.
I bet they don't.
I think they love the Wildcats, too.
Do they?
They're huge destination cities for both Iowa State and Kansas State fans.
Well, maybe. I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, it'll be packed. It'll be good. I did see that Dublin
This
was
Armageddon, man.
Will this be better than Nebraska Northwestern and Scott Frost kicking onside to blow a game against the team that wouldn't beat another opponent on American soil?
When was that game? 4 years ago now?
I think it was 3 years ago.
Was it 3? Was that Frost?
That was the beginning of the end for Scott Frost.
No, it was all the beginning of the end for him.
From the moment he arrived?
And he said, I don't know why I took this job. Never take a job that you should be forced into.
Take the right job.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing for him to say.
Now I'm back at a place where I can win.
Yeah, he claimed a national championship. Nate, do you want to tell us who else was claiming national championships today?
Auburn and our good friends at the Auburn University are feeling sorry for themselves. They finished 5-7 last year, 14th in the SEC, and so they decided to make themselves.
Play nobody, Paul.
They decided to make themselves feel better today by claiming 4 new national championships. Their AD, John Cohen, offered this explanation. For too long, Auburn has chosen a humble approach to our program's storied history, choosing to recognize only Associated Press national championships. Starting this fall, we have made the decision to honor the accomplishment of our deserving student athletes, coaches, and teams from Auburn's proud history. They have now claimed the 1910, 1914, 1958, and 2004 national titles. Friendly reminder for in 04, they were the 3rd best team in the country.
Yeah, they were the 3rd best team or 4th best team or 5th best team in a lot of these years as well. And listen, I'm not going to pretend to you like I know the complete history of the collegiate success in the football program of the Auburn Tigers. Certainly to the extent of the 1910 season being 115 years ago. The fact that they only have 2 national championships and now they're claiming 7 more, bumping that number up to 9 is crazy.
So, Ross Bjork was walking through the lobby after practice.
Him about this?
We did. We said, Ross, have you found out how many extra national championships Ohio State can claim?
2012.
And he said, and I believed him, he was like, what are you talking about? He
didn't know.
He wasn't aware of it yet. And we said, well, yeah, Auburn just claimed 7 national championships. And he said, well, that's crazy. So why don't you guys get to work and find some others that we can claim, because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, 2019, Austin, you've been
if 2004 is up for grabs, for Auburn, then 2019 is absolutely going on. I have already determined that one belongs to Ohio State. There's
30-point landslide, just demolishing of LSU in that game.
That game has played out in my mind a million times. The score's never changed.
It's you having that game playing in your mind a million times, and Birm having Dirks Bentley or a random soundtrack playing in his mind.
I just like the idea that Auburn are now the Darryl Perry champions.
Yeah, right? Because it says here, Auburn's official national championships will include 1910, new, 1914, new, 1958, new, 2004, new. I think they only have 2, though.
They only,
right? Okay, so all of these
this bumped them up to 9, right?
Are new. They won it back in 2010. Like, they had already had the AP championships. The college football, not playoff at that time, but there was a BCS championship, correct?
There was.
And then I forget which one that they actually had. 57, I think, was their other one, Austin, in their long.
Don't ask me.
Yeah, 57.
Yeah, 57. They were the AP and NCAA football record book champions. Everything else is new. 1993. They're now the National Championship Foundation.
They had claimed 93 before. They just weren't recognized by the AP.
That's what they haven't been recognized for any of this outside. And yes, you were correct. In 2004 here, it said claimed the national championships. This is the best one. Several, including Darryl Perry and GBE college football ratings.
So for those that don't remember the 2004 season, USC and Oklahoma went straight through the year, number 1 and number 2. Then USC killed Oklahoma. The SEC was garbage that season with only 4 teams finishing over 500. And Auburn said, well, we didn't get to play for the national title and only beat Virginia Tech in their bowl game by 3.
I did see a lot of very good stuff on Twitter today when all of this was coming down. And I think my favorite one was someone like quoting this tweet, whether it was from you guys and On3 or just whoever posted it, and said, this tells me everything I need to know about how bad Auburn is going to be this year.
Yeah.
When we are 11 days away from them starting the season. And we're
just a new banner for every home game.
Claiming the national championship.
I don't want to hear anyone whining about UCF anymore after this.
Right? Like, UCF went undefeated. Frosty, you've been acknowledged as a national champion. Auburn said, we're going to raise that by 7-fold.
Watch this. Well, just wait, because those new banners that Ohio State put in the Woody, they look fantastic, by the way.
They do look awesome.
Really spruced it up. Got some nice lighting. Well, they left one off. The 2019 Austin Ward's national champion Buckeyes.
2012, too.
Alabama still has the all-time most embarrassing one of these. Their 1941 national title where they were ranked 20th in the AP.
Yeah, you shouldn't be claiming national championship.
They called themselves the national title champions that year.
Don't think there were a lot of bowl games being played in 1941.
No, I don't think so. Nate, what else you got for us tonight?
All right, let's talk about this one. Some leaked stuff came out of the Big Ten this week where Tony Petitti is proposing a 28-game playoff. Just start. Just go.
Yeah. So the way that I was reading about this was its idea has just being put in the oven, right? Like we're just hatching this idea.
They got the ingredients out. It's not even in the oven yet.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, agrees on one thing in college football, all right? When we were at a 4-team playoff, it's like, oh, we can maybe get to a 16 playoff, or we can get to an 8-team, or we can do 12, or we can do different rankings, and then teams can get buys, and yada, 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 and whatever. We all disagreed on it. They landed on 12 games, and I think we can all agree that it was a pretty good system that they had last year. They've made some tweaks, and they're going straight seeding this year, right? Like, we finally came to an agreement. I think we can all come to an agreement even before this even happens, and it's technically being proposed that a 24 to 28 team college football playoff is the most ridiculous thing that I've heard of when it comes to college football playoff expansion. I can get there. If you want to get to 16, bicker amongst yourselves about the number of teams from each conference, whatever. 24 to a 28 team playoff? What are we doing? Why are we doing that? It's such a bad idea. And if you think that people were mad that, the regular season has lost some of its lackluster already with the 12 teams, what in the world do you think is going to happen with a 24-team playoff?
I have 2 theories.
Yeah.
Number one, this is just a negotiation tactic to actually get the 16-team playoff that he wants. And number 2 is more conspiracy theories, but it did come out right after the Michigan ruling dropped, and the conversation started to change.
Yeah, you're right.
But I'm glad that I can be the reasonable voice here against Tony Petitti, or for Tony Petitti. He's already been pushing this. People that don't understand the model that he's presenting with the buy-in championship weekend, that's already an expanded playoff.
Mm-hmm.
All we're doing now is putting a finer point on what he's suggesting is, well, guess what, SEC? If you want to have one of these super cool, lucrative championship weekends like I'm doing with the Big Ten, you can do that too. And that gives you 4 more potential playoff entrants. And you can go 1 and 2. You can do 3 versus 6. You can do whatever you want.
You could make it up because there are no rules.
There are no rules. You get to do whatever you want. And guess what? ESPN is just going to pay for it. Do it. Fox is doing it for my league. They have to. What are they going to do? Say no?
Have you heard anything more egregious, though?
No, but he's been... That's my problem, is that this has always been a system that was including 24 to 28 teams. But now he's specifically saying, we're not going to be the only ones that need to do this. The Big 12, you need to do it too. The SEC, you need to do it too. The ACC, you need to do it too. If you want to have these guaranteed spots, here's how you should determine them. And everyone else has already said, no, Tony, we don't want that, okay? Please stop. Fetch is not going to happen with your championship weekend. We don't want it.
Put it in the grave.
And he's like, no.
Just move on from it.
I'm not going to do it. We're all going to do it.
No, we're not all going to do it.
Take a drink from this Kool-Aid cup. It's so good.
Teams that would have gotten in under this proposal include 7-5 Michigan and 6-6 Georgia Tech.
Who doesn't want to see those teams in the playoffs, though, right?
Well, they would have had to earn it on championship weekend.
Right. I guess, Nate, we ran right through your stop sign. It's a ludicrous idea. More isn't better. A bigger number doesn't mean better product.
It's not. And I think I'm actually relieved in this way that the leak of this proposal puts in context what Tony Petitti and the Big Ten were already trying to do. And
now I understand why Greg Sankey basically...
That's why he said, no, this is horrific.
Called Tony Petitti an idiot.
This is an embarrassment.
We're not doing that.
It is very lucrative. It is television inventory. But it's a backdoor solution to get to 28 teams. And now everyone knows it. That was always the case. If you were playing the championship weekend to get the AQ bids, then those teams were already ostensibly in the playoff. They were just going through the Big Ten qualifier to get there.
A wise man once told me, never confuse activity for achievement. This is just activity. There is no achievement being had here at all.
Especially because it's like running on the treadmill. It's not going to get you down the road.
No, it's not. It's going to keep you stationary. This is a bad idea. I'm with Greg Sankey. I stand with the SEC.
Oh!
I stand with him. I stand with Greg Sankey.
Let's not go that far.
That's a dumb idea, and we don't need it. What's Matt Patricia feeling like heading into the Texas game? You're going to hear from him coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without groaning step by step? Hey, that was me. And I had to deal with that from all the years of playing football. But I went and saw my friends over at QC Kinetics, and it disappeared. I didn't have to tough it out anymore. Call over QC Kinetics with Dr. Wolkoff and get your free consultation. It's regenerative medicine, folks. There are thousands of patients who will tell you that they wish they would have done it sooner, just like I did. I'm glad I did, and my experience was tremendous. You go in, you have a consult, they lay out the plan, they talk about it. It's no pills, it's no scalpels. It's just your own body's biologics treating you and helping heal you. So find out if you're a good candidate. Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices all around Central Ohio, so be sure to go and check them out.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
We've got a story about a little bean doing big things. Soybeans are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we use every day. And Ohio's farmers are growing some of the world's best soybeans. By using and eating soy-based products, you make a positive impact locally and globally. Say hey to the largest ag export in the U.S. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. You have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets? We have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine, warm and humid and breezy on this Tuesday with the risk of a late day shower or gusty thunderstorm. Temperatures near 90. Overnight dropping down to near 70 degrees. A warm and humid start to your Wednesday. We'll see partly sunny skies, light winds and lower humidity, and a little cooler. Highs in the low 80s Wednesday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Are we drinking the scarlet and gray Kool-Aid? You bet we are. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Got football coming up 11 days from right now here at Ohio Stadium. But you know what's coming up 10 days from now? It's the season kickoff trivia contest. And if you think you know sports trivia, well, here's your shot to score tickets to Texas and Ohio State in 11 days. The winner right now, 614-821-9710. Caller number what, Austin?
6.
Caller number 6. You get in right now to Nate, 614-821-9710. You're going to get 2 passes to participate in the Big Buckeye Kickoff Trivia Contest next Friday, August 29th at the O on Lane. If you don't win tonight, well, no problem. You can grab your passes, $60 a team, $30 per person at 971thefan.com. And if you win the trivia contest, you're getting tickets to go see the Buckeyes and the Longhorns.
Wow.
How about that?
That's a pretty good price.
It is a rather good price. Because
Birm and I will be there to shake their hand as well.
I don't know if you know this or not, but it's a pretty hot ticket as of right now.
What do we
Texas
have? What's the latest get-in?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's find it. Are you more of a StubHub guy or a Ticketmaster guy?
I actually looked on Saturday. It's $318 was the last time I saw.
Oh,
$318 is the get in the door price. Okay.
That
seems about right.
That's not as bad as I thought it might be.
No, it's not crazy.
To go see the reigning, defending, undisputed national champions.
Think about this, too. It's the first time ever in college football history where you've opened up the season 1 versus number 2. Depending on the poll, they're the third in the AP poll. They are second in the coaches poll.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive game.
It is now $361. So we've gone up just a little bit.
That's pretty steep. But it could be worse. The Cotton Bowl was a little bit more than that.
What was the Cotton Bowl?
I don't even remember.
Something? 450?
It was
500? Well, think about that. Austin, the fans of Texas didn't have to travel, right? Didn't have to stay the night.
Right.
They could have drove back to Austin if they chose. Or if they had family and friends near Dallas, they could also stay there.
Yeah. And Ohio State fans will go anywhere to watch. So
yes, they will.
All of those tickets are going to be expensive. But I don't know. I thought maybe that price would get up to $500 or $600.
The Ohio State Texas game.
To see Ohio State and Texas in the opener.
It might.
It might.
We still have some time.
But the fact that it's at that level right now tells me it probably won't.
Yeah, I mean it's $411.
Yeah, and it's a big noon game. It's going to be scorching.
Are you saying that if it was a primetime game, these tickets would be more expensive?
It's possible.
Okay,
it's possible. Can't say for sure, but I think you should grab tickets and go anyway. It's going to be awesome.
I think you should too. Austin's going to be there.
I will absolutely be there.
Yeah, it'll be good. So,
Press box snob.
What did you take away from Matt Patricia yesterday when getting to talk to him during his media availability? Because I got excited for this defense when I was hearing the answers, non-answers from Matt Guerrero, Tim Walton today about their possible scheme and differences and all the kinds of different playmakers that they had on this defense.
I love talking to Matt Patricia. I love listening to Matt Patricia. I love learning from Matt Patricia. This guy has forgotten more football than most people, even some defensive coordinators, will ever learn in their life. It's remarkable to try and pick his brain, just get some insight into what he's going to do with all of these pieces around here. I'm fascinated by just what to do with Caleb Downs, the ultimate chess piece for somebody with all kinds of strategy available to him, the way Matt Patricia does with that encyclopedic knowledge of defense and the Bible. Birm refuses to call it the Bible, by the way. That's why he asked the question about encyclopedia.
Were you standing near Caleb when he was giving his answers today?
Yes.
And once I forget who asked him this question, like, where do you feel most comfortable at playing? And he goes 8 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, 6 yards, 12 yards. Doesn't really matter.
He's pretty comfortable on the football field.
Doesn't really matter to me is like the way that he answered that question.
That's the first time I've heard it answered that way.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I appreciate it. Thought it was great. I'd love to know exactly where he's going to be on every snap, but that's not realistic. And part of the fun about this Matt Patricia scheme and system and the way it's going to work out, where we've said this before, Beamer, it's going to change from week to week. It's going to be game plan specific. It's going to be personnel packages that you can match up with. You can create advantages for your own benefit. You can attack the offense if you're putting Caleb Downs in a spot that someone's not expecting, or Arvell Reese is over here. Is he rushing the passer? Is he dropping back? He's playing like a normal linebacker. Who knows? Could be anything. And that's going to be the fun, is like watching. Remember the season, Beamer, when we were like, what is the bullet?
I do remember that.
The
season.
Brendan White saga.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to see?
What a blast from the past.
Are we going to see the bullet? What is the bullet? Where's the bullet going to be? How do you fire the bullet? What? And we spent all year talking about it.
Number 2 is the bullet this year.
He's whatever. I mean,
multiple bullets.
There are a lot of bullets on this team, but Caleb Downs is
and I forgot about
silver
that
bullet.
whole bullet talking point.
Remember that?
And how that took over an entire season.
And it was like, are we going to see it? Did we see it? Was it out there?
Was it a figment of my imagination?
But
I don't know. Was it real?
All of that stuff from 6 years ago, 7 years ago, further, I guess it was 7. Like, that is going to be like watching Caleb Downs. Like, What is his role going to be? What is the position he's going to play here? Is he going to be in the box? Is he going to be close to the line of scrimmage? Is he going to drop back and play center field? Caleb Downs allows you to do all that, and Matt Patricia will have that flexibility to do that with him.
2019 is when the bullet year was. 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, what a time to be. Didn't it have to be in 18 when Brendan White was the Rose Bowl defensive MVP?
I'm reading Dan Hope, 11. This was just the first. This was the first article.
First mention of the bullet
to pop up. Brendan White embracing new role at bullet position in Ohio State's defense.
Yeah, he. What a time that was, and then we would eventually become fixated on the jack position and the Leo. I'm glad that Matt Patricia did not come in with some exotic name.
We've got the Patriot.
We've got the Patriot. That's exactly what I read your mind. We're gonna free the Patriot.
Yeah. We got Mel Gibson. We got a Mel.
So that's gonna be, I think, enjoyable.
That's stupid.
It's because we don't have to put it's just Caleb Downs. You just have to find number 2. And it's not going to be, you don't have to put one of the video games like flashing lights above. Hey, that's the bullet. It's over there.
Everybody
I found it.
Circle it on your map.
There it is.
We got him.
The bullet is activated.
He's engaged.
It's lit up.
The torch is lit for the Patriot.
Anyway, but I asked Matt Patricia about Caleb Downs. Because a couple of weeks ago, he broached this topic of the big nickel and how Caleb Downs could be activated, unleashed, to use some of the nomenclature from the previous defensive coordinators. Like, well, you just want Caleb Downs around the football. So however you can do that, you're going to do that. Because I know better. I've already learned in 8 months of having conversations with Matt Patricia. You need to be able to at least act like this question had some thought, and there's no easy way out of it. I said that I know that it's going to be based on personnel and matchup and games. And I know that you can't say, if I asked you how much would you like to use Caleb Downs at the big nickel, that you would very easily
at that answer
be
and
able to evade that.
Yeah.
And and I have to present it as like, I understand that this is a complicated situation. It's like, what are the scenarios where you would use him? And it still wasn't like, I know he's too smart. I'm not going to tell you exactly when.
He's answered some tough questions in his life.
He sure has.
Yeah.
But it also, if you pay attention, you can get the answer, which is like, it's not going to be all that often. It's probably not going to be against Texas based on what they're going to do. And could you ask Caleb Downs to cover a slot receiver? Yeah, 100% you can. You can ask him to do, if you asked him to go play right, against a right tackle and win a pass rush, I bet he could do that too. He's pretty good at everything on the football field. 2 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, 12 yards, anywhere on the football field. But I'm still thinking that is a situation which is a new way of thinking. We talked about 3 linebackers for playing at Illinois and at Wisconsin back-to-back. Turns out you may not have to do that if Caleb Downs can be your third linebacker.
You can still be playing the linebacker.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
You can term him the bullet position.
That's Matt Patricia for you.
Yeah. I'm just so thankful that he didn't come up with this stupid nickname.
I'm going to ask him to now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You're just going to say, hey, Matt, if you were going to title Caleb Downs as a position.
Wait, what do you think about bandit and adjuster, Matt?
Yeah, how about that?
You like that?
Why don't we just bring the bullet back?
I'm feeling nostalgic for the bullet.
I do too. I think we should bring it back.
Let's make it a happen.
What's Ryan Day saying about his captains for this season? You're going to hear from him coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
For over 30 years, Schumacher Homes has been building affordable custom homes throughout the Buckeye State. Experience true customization on your land, your way, without any compromises. Come visit any of our 9 Ohio model home and design studio locations to see the latest in design trends and learn about our award-winning building process, or start online at SchumacherHomes.com. You'll be surprised how affordable a custom home will be. Schumacher Homes, proud home building sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best damn radio show in the land. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy, Austin Ward, tonight. Be back in tomorrow, Austin, as well. We'll be hanging out Thursday and Friday with Murph Dog.
Day 2 of bringing back the bullet.
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Day number 1 is today. Or I guess would this be day 0? And
day
then
0.
Day number 1 would be tomorrow.
We got to get Murph on board.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be on board for sure.
Yeah.
I think he would be on board with any nickname that we can give to an Ohio State defense that
we all just
track
have
and or not track.
Just such fond memories of the bullet era.
Would you like better, that or the jack position? Which one existed less?
I think the jack position actually existed. And I think if you asked Jack Sawyer about the jack, and
you're right,
trying to play it, and the not so great changes that he made to his body to accommodate it, I think he'd say, yeah, it was real.
And I hated it.
And no, it wasn't fun. I didn't like it. It just send it into the sun. Like, get it out of here.
Get it out of here. It's got to go. Poof.
Are we sharing a brain today?
I think we are.
What's happening?
I think we're pretty lockstep here.
We haven't even talked since Wednesday.
No, we haven't. You know what? That's what happens when you get us two in a room. We're just locksteps. What about Ryan Day? Captains, any surprises to you on the 4 captains this weekend? Because I think we were making cases last week, at least Murph and I were, maybe who the 4 guys would be. And I think we covered all 4 of these guys pretty extensively when talking about Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles, how they were almost shoo-ins to be captain. And I know that they've earned that, but I'm just talking from an outside to inside perspective. I think there was a little bit more room on the offense, Austin, where you could say, all right, well, this guy could be a captain, that guy could be a captain. But I think we did come to the agreement that it was going to be an offensive lineman, and it was likely going to be a wide receiver. And I think on Friday night show, I said it's probably going to be Austin Sareveld, and then everything you've heard about Brandon Innes so far this offseason, how he's really taken that leadership role and gotten it into the next level. So those are your 4 captains, headlined by Sonny Styles getting the block up.
Yeah, well, you crushed that one. I wasn't surprised by those 4. Now, I think there are 4, 5, 6 other guys that we could have named who, you know, as the ballots were coming in, could have been close. And I'm glad, personally, that Ohio State is not going back to the days of, well, 8, 9, it watered it down. It didn't make it as impactful. I think your leaders need to be your leaders. Yeah. And you need to be able to see, I like that it's 2 on offense and 2 on defense, that it's broken up that way. I think it's a good system. It's worked for a long time. And I wasn't surprised by the final list. You know, the other ones that make a case for Carnell Tate, Carson Hensman,
of course,
Kenyatta Jackson, you know, they're right there. And those guys are going to remain critical. I mean, Will Howard wasn't a captain last year for Ohio State. The leadership, we talk about it all the time. It's going to go down forever. You can still find ways to contribute for Ohio State without going out there for the coin toss or being a spokesman at every media opportunity for Ohio State. But these 4 guys certainly understand that responsibility. I think that Austin Sareveld is still at that level of maybe somewhat surprising to the fan base as a whole. I won't speak for them. But his emergence is like, despite playing in the playoff push and becoming now the starting left tackle, is still a bit out of left field, I think, for a lot of people. It's not someone who was a super high-profile recruit. It's not as if there was a bunch of NIL demand, transfer portal situations.
Haven't heard of that.
Retain
with him.
Got to retain him. People trying to tamper with Austin Saraveld. None of that stuff has happened. It's just been, Austin Saraveld had a good spring camp. Sounds like he could play right tackle. Austin Saraveld is
playing really well at right tackle. Let's move him to left.
Austin Saraveld is a winter Iron Buckeye. Austin Saraveld is now a summer Iron Buckeye. Austin Saraveld is starting at left tackle. Like, what? How did that all happen? And hard work for one, and then that carried a lot of weight in the locker room. But I told him over the summer, Birm and I were in there during one of the recruiting camps where Austin Saraveld was working. He was at every single one of these one-day camps. I think he was it was sort of like an internship with the strength program and Mickey Marotti. So he was at every single one of these, getting maybe some class credits for it. And I pulled him over to do an interview, for the beat or snap judgments or maybe both. I don't know. And I've talked to him a number of times. I love Austin Saraveld's mentality. He's got a good sense of humor. He hasn't had a chance to show that a lot.
Right.
And I said, you're going to have to get used to this. If you're going to have a starting job, if you're going to be someone who's in a leadership position. I didn't really think captain at that point over the summer, talking to him, possibility down the road maybe. But said, you can't dodge us anymore. Like you're not going to be able to skip these media availabilities.
That's right. You're going to be front and center now.
He was just like, yeah, I know. Because he doesn't do it for the attention and the spotlight, which again is what you want. Want to set that work ethic and, be someone that your teammates can count on, be reliable in the weight room, in the locker room. And he's done all that. Now that's the next part. Brandon Ennis loves that part.
Yeah.
He will embrace every second of it. Sonny Styles has gotten really good at it.
Yes, he has.
And he's also learned how to smile, which is cool. He's not,
but he is always very serious.
But he's turned he's learned to manage some of that. I actually was talking about that with Lorenzo Styles today, which is like, he seems like he's got a different outlook. And he's like, yeah, the way that he's able to talk to teammates, he knows when it's going to be a lighter moment, when it's going to be more serious in front of a team to do this, to do that. And we've seen, I think, glimpses of that, just media settings, going to media day. He's gotten so polished at that, and that carries weight. That's why he's the block O. But the point is, all four of these guys understand what it takes. They are perfect representatives for the program, and everybody in that program knows that, which is why they voted for him.
What about Ryan Day on Sonny Styles not only being named a captain, but this year's Block O recipient?
When we decide to award a player with the Block O, it's Coach Mick and the strength staff and myself who vote on it, and this year it was unanimous. And that speaks to Sonny and the work that he's put in the summer, the offseason, the leadership that he's shown, the ability to stand in front of his teammates and say hard things. Part of being a leader is, being comfortable with conflict. And I've seen him grow in that area. He came in really as a senior in high school, his freshman year. And, he forewent his senior year to come here early, grew, and just got, more and more indoctrinated in the program. And certainly this program runs deep into his family, and it means a lot to him. And so, this is somebody that cares a lot about his teammates, loves Ohio State, loves the Buckeyes, but has become a tremendous leader and obviously an excellent player. And so all of those things wrapped into one show you why he deserves that award.
It's still wild for me to comprehend, Austin, what Ryan Day was mentioning right there. Like when you look at Sonny Styles' year, he should technically be a sophomore right now, forewent his senior year here in Pickerington for his senior season. Came in, played a decent amount, right? Saw him get a little bit better. He's been in the linebacker room for just over a year, and he's a captain on this team. He is the Block O recipient, and name whichever publication that you want to look down, first or second team, preseason All-American at linebacker. He is right there. He has not been in this linebacker room long at all, so for him to be able to go out and perform the way that he did last year, maybe take some of the leadership umbrage from what we saw out of Cody Simon last year and the way that Cody made his way through here in a career at Ohio State, obviously capping it with a tremendous 4-game stretch at the very end of the season, national championship. To take that and then do it all again from Sonny while still technically learning a new position from his coach in James Laurinaitis, I don't know. I mean, I know that we talk about him. We're excited to watch him kind of roam in the backfield yet again. It's nothing short of spectacular that he's in this position already with the Buckeyes.
I mean, we're talking about 20 months in that linebacker room.
Yeah.
And that's learning the position, for one. It's not like he's suddenly been able to gain a ton more of game experience. Like, that ended in January. He played a full season of it, and he was really good. But I think if you ask Sonny and if you ask James Laurinaitis, both of them would say, we're not done here.
No.
And Sonny has always been a tireless worker, incredibly humble. Every time you talk to him after a game, it's going to be like, it's not the good plays that he's focusing on. He missed 2 tackles. I remember he was leaving Wrigley Field, the win over Northwestern. He made a handful of like really impressive plays. And we're walking towards the bus, and it's like, I missed these 2 tackles, and we got to get that cleaned up immediately. And it's like, you're allowed sometimes to celebrate your good stuff, but he was in the midst of it at that point. Like, that was, game 9 at linebacker? Game 8? Somewhere around there? He knew that he wasn't done, that there was a lot of work to do to get where he wants to go ultimately at the NFL level, but also just to play the kind of linebacker that Ohio State needed to win a national championship. And he did that. Now he's going to have to be even better, and he will be even better. I think the way that he's attacked it throughout this offseason, and then as he gets into game 17 at linebacker and then game 27 at linebacker, what that could look like for him is pretty hard to fathom in some ways, because he had to learn the position. He was changing his body. That safety conversation, you and Bob used to have that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he's subsisting on ice cubes and water.
That's it.
Got to keep the weight down. So that part is a new thing for him. Finding his voice, becoming that leader. He was talking throughout this offseason about moving down to the next row in the meeting room and taking that seat and knowing that he was going to be one that was looked to by the teammates. Like, all of that is a lot to put on anyone's plate, let alone a person who can't even check into a hotel room in Las Vegas. Like, sometimes we forget about all of that.
Neither of them.
Yeah.
Caleb or Jeremiah were able to do that.
So I think Sonny has been here for so long, it feels like.
Yeah.
And because people knew about him beforehand, the recruitment and his father and the legacy and all that, that the actual short-term duration of his career and even shorter term being at linebacker sometimes gets overlooked, because it's like
100% it does.
Well, if there's a thing on the football field, like Sonny Styles can do it. And yeah, he's earned the benefit of that doubt, but this is the block O for him is a reflection of all of that work. And it had been posited last week. Well, maybe it won't be Sonny because there hasn't been true adversity. It's not been a Cam Babb situation. It's not Xavier Johnson as a walk-on. It's not this or that compared to some of these others. Like
Coop had it right.
Yeah, it's like there's no hard and fast standard for it. But just tell me about everything that we described and growing up in Pickerington and having that scarlet and gray blood like for his entire life. Tell me there's someone you would rather see the block O on. Like, that guy is a block O.
And everything he's been doing over the last couple of years here, being thrown into the situation. And not only saying, hey, you get a year to just kind of hang out in this linebacker room to learn the position. No. You have the standard that you're going to need to be one of the best linebackers in the country and make that shift immediately.
And when Cody did that last year, Cody Simon, that was 5 years of work at linebacker.
5.
So it's
trial and tribulation for him, of course.
Imagine what that would look like for Sonny Styles if he had got to do that from day one. Like, I don't even think that would be fair.
It's a good news for every other college football team in America that didn't happen. Hashtag Buckeyes next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Love your Buckeyes? Love Donato's Pizza? Love cookies? Then you're really going to love this. It's Donato's new Buckeye Cravings Combo. A large one-topping pizza served up with 4 decadent peanut butter frosted chocolate cookies, all for just $19.99. Perfect for game day or any day here in Buckeye Nation. Order your Donato's Buckeyes Cravings Combo today. More pizza, more cookies, more Buckeyes. Donato's. Gotta love more.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
At High Bank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. Their Whiskey War spirits tell the story of Prohibition in every sip and was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Enjoy High Bank's nationally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation, founded by Nationwide Children's Hospital, encourages grown-ups to teach kids mental health skills and coach them through emotional challenges because kids' mental health starts with us. Find free clinician-developed mental health tools at kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Listen, we all know summer's winding down. Got about 11 more days officially of it. Then you kick into football season, then summer's all gone. But listen, there's still time to drop 20 pounds. With Awaken 180's 20-pound summer slim down. That's how I started, Austin, and you. 20 gone fast, and it propelled me straight to the goal of dropping over 75 pounds. You're at 50. You're still eat, drink, and enjoy summer, but the scale's finally moving. Then you hit fall with energy, confidence, clothes that fit again. Awaken 180's coaches, they keep you on track so the weight stays off. You can head to awaken180weightloss.com to start your first 20 now and finish summer on a win streak. We were listening to Ryan Day in our last segment talk about Sonny Styles and the Blocko. What about his thoughts about Brandon Ennis being named captain?
Well, it just has a strong personality. I like the way that he encourages his teammates. I mean, if you watch him last year, when Carnell, I have pictures in my head of when Carnell Tate caught that double move against Northwestern and Wrigley. I remember watching him run down the field on the third and Jeremiah. He's the first guy chasing down a play because he's just a great teammate. He encourages his teammates. Well, his work ethic now has, now he's into, year 3 here, and his body of work is starting to speak for itself. So he's not only a great teammate, but now he's become an excellent player. And when things got a little dicey in camp, he was the guy that spoke up. He was the guy that challenged everybody. And because of the work he put in and how much he cares his teammates, his teammates sat up and listened and responded. That's the other thing. It's one thing to say something. It's another thing to watch him respond. He did that multiple times during camp. Brought the whole offense together and got them fired up and got them moving. And that took a big step. And that probably had an impact on him being voted captain.
Well, that's a true sign of a leader right there. Going to have bad days in camp? You know what? That happens. It's expected to happen. It's expected for you to have sluggish starts. It's expected for you to have sluggish finishes. But those coaches in that room, Austin, and all the staffers are looking for who's going to be the guy to get up there and really kind of take the bootstraps of the entire team and get those guys to buy in that day. And it sounded like that wasn't just a one-off occasion for him. It's been an entire almost process since he's been here that he's been that kind of guy.
Yeah, and he was involved in that a year ago. I mean, he was not a captain, and he was not playing the amount of snaps that you would expect necessarily. Not that Brandon Inniss anticipated maybe when he was the number 1 wide receiver recruit in the country. Certainly not what he was anticipating for year 2 after Emeka Egbuka decided to come back. And I think from the outside, not the, well, how can this guy be on the leadership committee when he's not on the field that much? But Brandon Inniss was, and they're all tied together. It's his work ethic that got him to that point where everyone across the country said, this is the best wide receiver in this class. And then it was his selflessness that said, okay, I want to be at Ohio State. I believe in this program. I believe in the guys that are in this room, the brotherhood, the teammates, all of that stuff. And if Emeka is coming back, that's good for the team, and I need to find a role to contribute. So he was already on that leadership committee a year ago. He was probably the least talked about person out of it because he wasn't in a prominent role. But I try to point that out as often as possible because I don't know how many people were aware of that. They said, well, how is Brandon Inniss still here? Like, didn't other programs want to tamper and get him in the transfer portal? Like, why didn't he leave? And why hasn't he fulfilled that potential? If Emeka wasn't on this team last year, Brandon Inniss would have been maybe not at the same exact level of production. He would have been very productive for Ohio State. Yeah. And when they needed him, there were big catches in the playoff. There was a critical touchdown at Penn State. Yeah. They trusted him to go in those games, in those moments, and perform, and he did. And now he's going to get a lot more of them. And I'm excited for him because I know how long he's waited. And he didn't want to. He knew that
he said that at the very beginning of camp. Yeah, he said that same thing.
He just knew that he needed to, that was the best thing for him. That was the best thing for Ohio State. And he's going to get the reward for that. I'm very confident.
I am too. And when we start talking about, and this was the same kind of conversation that we had about Max Clare the other day, I don't know what Brandon Inniss's production looks like this year. I don't know when it comes to number of catches, yards, touchdowns. I'll tell you that it's going to be more than what it's been in the past, though.
Pretty big uptick coming.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a monster uptick. And again, we talk about there being only one football to go around, and you've got Max Clare, and you've got Jeremiah Smith, and you've got Carnell Tate, and you've got running backs that you need to feed. But Brandon Inniss is just as well designed for anyone else if they're going to have a huge leap and uptick in success. There's no reason why he can't be a serious and is expected to be a monster contributor for this offense.
Yeah, he's ready for it, and I think he will be. I think he's going to do all those things. There are a variety of ways that you can also use Brandon Inniss. When we talk about him playing in the slot, and you think back to different ways to get Emeka involved, different ways that they were even looking to get Marvin involved. We've discussed if Ohio State needs to move Jeremiah Smith around in the formation to get the football in his hands. Brandon Inniss is that, we're really going back now. We brought back the bullet.
Yeah, we did.
Remember the old Percy position and the pivot for Urban Meyer. I think Urban Meyer would have done backflips to recruit someone with Brandon Inniss's skill set.
I think a lot of coaches would.
Yeah, I mean, if you were once upon a time, if you were excited for Dontre Wilson, I mean, this is...
Who wasn't?
This is multi-stage evolution of Dontre Wilson to what Brandon Ennis can do. He can throw the football. He can run the football. He can do it all. And it's the same as Emeka in that regard. And I think the leadership qualities are the same as well. No program, I think, is... We talk about the recruiting at Ohio State all the time and the recruiting of the wide receivers. The Buckeyes are losing Emeka Egbuka, and they have another one right here.
The year before, you lost Marvin Harrison Jr., and everyone's like, oh, this Jeremiah Smith fellow is going to be pretty good. Like, he just left as one of the best 4 wide receivers in school history, and you didn't miss a step.
But that's the part where athletically you look at these Ohio State guys and the lineage and the passing it down. It's like, well, this guy can do those things. They're not going to miss a beat. It's not just that Brandon Ennis can do the same things physically as Emeka, but he's also taken the captaincy from him as well.
Right.
Like, he is doing all the things that you wanted from Emeka. And will it look the exact same on paper? I don't know. We're going to find out. But the potential is absolutely there.
Austin, had a great time tonight. Let's do it again tomorrow for a shorty 1-hour show on a Wednesday.
Do you think we have any audio left for it?
I think we probably have a ton. Because we didn't get to some of it today, and we didn't even get to the DBs today either.
Oh, okay.
The Reds are not up next because they're playing out on the West Coast. Something will guide you, and I have no clue what it is, into the Reds for like a 9:05 broadcast start. Everybody have an awesome night. Talk to you tomorrow. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You know, it's not the shoes. It's what you can put in them that makes all the difference. Hey, it's Anthony. I've been a customer at the Good Feet store for a while now, and I'm all about my personally fit arch supports. They support my feet better than all the insoles I've jammed into my shoes over the years. And my Good Feet arch supports help me in a ton of ways. From overall support and balance to stabilizing my heels and the fact they distribute my body weight, especially when I'm golfing, I literally have spring in my step now. Check them out for yourself. The free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. You don't need an appointment, but you can certainly schedule one very easily online. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of, just like me. Get professionally fitted at goodfeet.com.
Come on over to Hartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.